Hey guys, um, I did make a video earlier, but before you guys get into that, I just wanted to get back up here and lay the grounds for how these timeline jumps really work, especially for the new people. Look, you guys know, some of you know about the Montauk Project, some of you guys know about the Philadelphia experiments. Well, all of that stuff has been perfected and being utilized by our military force. Um, so our military use technology to go into certain timelines. And I've seen this done. I've seen how they go into different timelines. They can set up shop there. But how us white hats, we do. So we use a method of going into the future timelines and passing messages to prominent people, um, to keep humanity on course. So I'll go into a timeline and I'll pass a message to somebody within a corporation or someone basic, that can help us stay on course. Um, I'll give you an example. So look, when I go into a timeline, I'll pass a message and say, hey, look, I'm from a future timeline, which we correspond, quite frequently with these particular people. So they know about us. They know about uh, the people in the past that are going into the future. Because what we do is we'll give them alerts, indication that, okay, something now is going down and it's going to be coming your way in the near future. So here is some intel that you need to have to prepare so that we stay on course. We use technology to do this. We'll go into a different future timeline and pass a message to one of our guys that is working with us from these future timelines. Even though we're coming from a past, it could be a year from now, it could be 2 or 3 years, or maybe 5 years from now. But we do it this way so that humanity get liberated. So that is the goal that we're doing. We also encounter other realities where we're dealing with other beings that are not human. Uh, and you guys know about the AI threat. You know about the Archons. So I wanted to lay that. Now let's get into the original video. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Raw Cloud. Today I want to tell you guys about an experience that I had. I had to deal with some Archons. Basically, so when I jumped back to this timeline, I had to quickly start recording as usual, and to retain these memories from these other experiences that I go into, these other realities that I go into. Of course, you guys know the Archons, they deal within the astral realm, they deal within this earth realm, and they deal within many other realms, within the multi-dimensional realms. Uh, of course, they also have their henchmen. I had to deal with an android later after battling this particular Archon was more or less like an octopus. It was extremely long, huge, and had the capability to, take flight, hover. Um, it looked like a burgundy, brownish red. This thing was fucking huge, which you'll hear about in the next segment. But there were some other things too that happened within that aspect, and I'll explain after you hear this segment of what happened. That way we don't miss any details. Now, in this next segment, I did leave out some intel about what happened, so I'll fill that in after you guys listen to what happened when I dealt with the Archons, this android, and these reptilians. So check it out. Hey guys, I'm just getting back. It's almost time for me to get up and go to work. But I gotta tell you guys, I went into like, it was almost like it had to be like the multiverse type of world, but it was a timeline version where these Archons, they were after me. I had something that they wanted, and this particular thing that they wanted, it was a type of device. It had a battery system in it, and the battery system, it was running low. I remember looking at it, and it was almost out of power. And it was like a handheld type of device. It was a small device, but they wanted that device bad. So I had to keep this device on. I started to turn it off, but I needed to keep it on. The main Archon, it did not come near me. It looked almost like an octopus. It stayed far away from me, but it sent like other smaller humanoid type Archons. They look almost like very robust type of androids. And then one of those androids that they sent, it had like minions with it, organic type minions, almost like smaller reptilian type. They were smaller reptilian type, and these particular reptilians, they were like maybe like 5 feet, dark, very dark skinned. They had like small ears too, like small, very pointy ears. But I remember them being like really small. They had like bulky type face, lizard bulky type face, almost like how a Komodo dragon will look, but the face was kind of like bulky. But they came. I had other people with me that knew about this. Just ordinary people connected to me. They were almost like family to me, and they were trying to hide me. I did have special abilities. I could fly. I had extraordinary strength. I wasn't necessary worried about these Archons. I knew I could take them out, but I'm the type of person that I do not underestimate anything. I've learned that a long time ago to not underestimate. Sorry, that's my alarm clock. But we was hiding in this. It was almost like 2-story, 3-story type of home. It was in poor conditions as well, which made it almost like the perfect hiding place. But as we're in this home, so I knew that they were gonna eventually come, because I dealt with the that octopus one originally, before everything started going to shit, and that's why it stayed away. And it looked just like an octopus. You could tell no difference from this, but this particular Archon, it had the ability to fly. So you're looking at a extremely large octopus. I mean, I'm thinking that it had to be maybe 100 feet long. It was. That's how big this octopus was. It was about 100 feet long. Uh, let's see. The octopus in color was like brownish red, like a burgundy type, very light burgundy type, brownish red. Looked just like an octopus, guys, nothing different, but it was just extremely huge, and I knew that this was an Archon. So that was the first thing I dealt with, was that Archon first. And then once I got the best of it, it stayed away from me. And then it sent those other, it sent a very strong humanoid type android, um, after me. And then that android had the, like, it was like three reptilian type, humanoid reptilians. So I also could track with this device, and I know that. So what it was, that device that they wanted, it gave me the ability to track them, track their kind, and they did not want me to have that device. Now that I'm thinking more about it, I'm getting like more recall on what happened. This device, not only was it running low, but it gave me the ability to track them. It gave me the ability to know if they were tracking me as well. But for whatever reason, they did not want me to have it. And they came after that device, and I was waiting for them. I did not want to go to them. I wanted them to come to me. And I had it all set up, in this, worn down home. But I also had, other people with me, to watch my back, you know. Yeah. So that was an experience I wanted you guys to know about. There were some other things that happened after I I took out. Yeah, so yeah, they did show up. The android humanoid one, it showed up in this home. This android could fly, and when I linked with this android, it had like the mentality that it was more powerful. It had that ego about it, like, I'm more powerful than you. So it sent the reptilians in first. It stayed out there and it monitored me as I was monitoring it, and I took these reptilians out. I took them out one by one, and then this android came in, and then we fought, and I ended up taking out that android. Yeah, but we both were strong, but they're no match for us, like in the multiverse type version of ourselves, especially when you have already become powerful, and you when you have walked into those abilities, you accept the abilities that you have. You incorporate that, like mind, body, and soul. And it has nothing to do with the ego. You accept that you are a very powerful or spiritual being. And I want all of us here, I want each and every person to understand that, we look at ourselves from day to day in these other forms that we live in. Doesn't matter whether you're white, black, Chinese, it does not matter. You are not the body. That is just a vehicle for who you really are. You operating that body. The real you is on the inside of the body. So the body is just a vehicle. It is a representation of who you want to portray yourself to be in this life. The in this learning experience that we are currently going through, but we're way more powerful than just that physical form. In other realities, in our physical forms, we have extraordinary capabilities, like very, very powerful beings we are. And then we're going through a learning experience within that reality as well. So it's time for me to get up and go through this human experience in this realm. I want to leave you guys with I love you, I honor you, and I always will respect you. Have a good night. So as you can see, I had to deal with many different enemies of mankind. These are the ones that want to control us, hold us back from achieving our ascension, but also they see us as a resource, a battery that they can feed off us energetically and physically. The reptilians they both have learned how to feed off of us. Uh, they are a part of the adrenochrome harvesting. They are the biggest drug dealers out there, other than the ones that are up under them and have aligned with them, and that is the Nazi Nordics. These particular Aryans, but not all Nordics. Not all Nordics are negative and do not align with these particular these Archons and reptilians and these negative forces like the Anunnaki. But here's the other detail that I left out. Now, I did get so after I battled this octopus, this Archon, it retreated. It was after this particular device that helps me track them. Now, I think I obtained this particular device. I don't know if I stole this device or it was given to me. Now, I do not have that particular memory. If I do have start to get recall on that, then I'll let you guys know. But they did not want me to have the ability to track them. So anytime this device was on, they knew about it. They can track where I had the device. As long as this device was on, they can track it. But it gave me also the ability to track all of these Archons. And it didn't matter what size they were. Big, small, it didn't matter. This device had the capability to track Archons, and I can locate them and then deal with them. But after I fought this Archon and it retreated, before the androids showed up, before the reptilians showed up, I did get help with trying to hide. I was trying to evade more of these enemies of humanity. So, and I was in this home. I was in this home before they showed up, and these particular people that was helping me, they were poor people, and they were keeping me safe. They were keeping me hidden and out of sight of the Archons. So I was trying to rest after fighting that octopus. I was trying to rest and regain, my energy. because I was fighting this Archon, and I was taking flight as I was battling this Archon. Now, the abilities that I had, not only could I take flight, but I can use plasma out of my eyes. And this wasn't the only time that I've used plasma. I've been in other dimensions where I'm trying not to be around humans, and I'm trying to, train. I'm always in training, and one of the training regiments was to use these plasma beams out of the eyes. But every reality that I went into, there was always some type of human element, and I couldn't really like go full force in some of these places. So it's really hard to find places where I can just be myself and train as hard as I want. But anyway, let me get back to it. So these particular people, they look almost like they were Native American or Hawaiian, um, and they were poor, and they had me in their home. That their home was in poor conditions, but I was still very humble about being there, and grateful that they were doing their best to try to hide me from these Archons. So I was trying to, they gave me a place to sleep. And in this bed, you know, I had to share this bed with someone within the household. Now, like in the corner of the roof, there was like a spot that was open. It was just poor condition. It was like rotted up there, and I can pretty much see the next floor. Um, but as I'm trying to fall asleep and get some rest, it was like my psychic ability was like turned on, and I kept staring at that hole in the corner, and I just kept getting this feeling like a serpent was gonna come through. So I was restless, and I just kept getting this feeling. This was before that I knew that the android and the reptilians were gonna show up. So when they showed up, that's what that psychic feeling was, that these beings were coming, and that's when I dealt with the that android and these three reptilians. So after I dealt with them, I ended up leaving that spot, and I went to a more suitable location, and this was I went to go see my sensei, my Sifu. Sifu is a master teacher. He's here in this earth realm. So I went to go see him. He was busy at the time, and this was at night. It had to be like around 8 or 9 o'clock. Could have been 10 o'clock, somewhere around that time anyway. But his lady friend, she knew about me. She knew about me here in this timeline as well. So as he's in the home, I'm outside on the balcony, and she come out on the balcony, and she knew about these abilities, and she wanted me to, you know, she wanted to fly around. So I took her flying. I didn't take her up high. And what happened in the beginning, I felt like she had some sort of attraction to me, and I never mind that. I'm always loyal to my friends, my comrades, um, and even my master teacher, my Sifu. So I said, okay, I'll take you up. Now she's a healthy sized girl. I mean, nice figure. Nothing, she's not, big. Just nice figure, cute girl. So as she wrapped her arms around my neck, Like she held on to me from the front, and I had to, get her legs up and around my waist. So I'm having to grip. Basically, I'm having to grip her ass and hold on to her, which made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. But I'd rather keep her safe, from falling. So she had to hold her up. She had to wrap her arms around my neck real tight, and I can see that she was pleased. And I don't mean to laugh, but I can see that she was content and happy. So I took her up maybe like 20, 30 feet up in the air, and as I'm taking her up, I'm psychically, feeling like she has this connection with me, like she's very attractive to me, and I'm feeling like this sexual energy coming off of her, and it's enveloping around me. And I'm like, man, I don't want to get pulled into that energy. When you psychic, you pull an energy. Um, a lot of psychics, we do this for information, but as this energy is around me, I'm like, okay, I got to take her back down. I got to take her back down because I don't want, I'm not going to dishonor, you know, my master teacher. So I take her back down, and, she's smiling as I'm, going down. And I'm already connected to her psychically. I'm reading her thoughts. And she's in a state of like being happy and content. And with that attraction, it brings like sexual energy towards me. But anyway, I get her on the ground, and I end up leaving that dimension. So when I get back, I feel a little bit embarrassed about that whole encounter with her, and definitely did not want to dishonor, my Sifu, my master teacher. Um, I did not get to speak with him, and I think what I wanted to do, I wanted to speak with him about the Archon encounter, and maybe go over some training too with him. But anyway, guys, I don't want to drag this on. I hope you enjoyed um, the video. And when I give you guys, these types of things that I go into, I always want to give you like raw detail. And no matter what it is, I don't want to leave out any details, because details are important. You get to know me on a personal level when I'm being truthful about everything. So, and that's how I want to keep it. I want to keep it truthful, uncut, and just give you guys the information that I feel like you guys should have. So anyway, I love you, I honor you, and I respect you always. Have a good day.